But yeah, no, it's time to talk about the Chubb injury, and I'm very grateful that we waited as long as we did to talk about it because
Mm-hmm.
uh, I don't know about you, Derek, but I was ready to talk about his career being over because I thought it
Yeah.
was another dislocation, multiple torn ligaments. I thought it was another one in the same exact knee as he did in college. I was doing some research and looking up kind of like going through like people who were talking about the injury, and Jim Rome had a doctor on a doctor of orthopedic medicine, like orthopedic surgeon,
Mm-hmm.
um, and he pretty much said yes,
Specialist.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
is the word.
and he pretty much was saying like Nick Chubb would have to be like he would have had to be the first person in professional sports to ever come back from a second dislocated knee. Um,
Yeah.
which at that time, you never want to count Nick Chubb out, especially for his what like for how hard he works and stuff, but odds were against him. So now with the update being, hey, this guy only tore his MCL and has a partial tear in the ACL, and he's only going to be out 6 to 8 months. I mean, who's to say, like, obviously this is ridiculous to even bring it up, but who's to say he can't rehab it and be back ready for playoffs? Like, like be on a snap count in the playoffs. Like it's very possible. Um, I don't think it's probable, but it's possible.
No.
So, there's more optimism now, and he'll be ready for next year, and that's a great sign, especially from the conversations we were having before. Um, but the hit itself, Derek, I want you to talk about it because my thoughts on the hit. I'll let you go first, and then I'll kind of give my thoughts.
Okay. Okay. So there's a couple different angles to take this. One, was it a dirty hit? Two, was he intentionally trying to hurt Nick Chubb? And there's a third point to this, but I totally forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, um, so here's how I feel, because I've heard a ton of different people say a ton of different things, and it's kind of interesting to hear, right? Because there's the football guys, there's the defensive guys, and it just everybody kind of has a different take on it. For me, I never played at a high level. I played, middle school, high school, whatever. But for me, I you're never, ever, 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 I don't care what position, you're never taught to tackle the way that Minka did. Right. And for me personally, I think Minka Fitzpatrick is a fantastic football player. I think he's a terrible person. I've never liked him. I don't know. I mean, I don't know really that much about him. So maybe that's not fair for me to say. But what I have heard about him and just everything like that, he just seems like not somebody that I'm a big fan of personally. Um, sorry, I just watched that incompletion. But anyway, that play, there's people saying it was a bang bang play. Here's my stance on it. Slow it down and really take it step by step. Now, obviously, here's the thing. Minka Fitzpatrick is a DB. Nick Chubb is a running back. That's impossible to bring down, right? You got to throw context in there. I don't have a problem with Minka going for his legs. I don't have a problem with that. But on that play, Nick Chubb was already being tackled. People were not necessarily gang tackling him, but he wasn't on the ground. And instead of Minka coming in and wrapping up and running through Nick Chubb, essentially how you're taught to tackle, he didn't even put his arms out. He never even came out like this to make a tackle. You saw Minka go down like this. Y'all can't see me, but Tristan, you can see me. He went down like this, and your eyes give away what you're looking at. He was directly looking at Nick Chubb's knee, and Bang bang play, yes. I understand it. It's a split second decision. It's not like Minka was, I mean, maybe, but probably not like Minka was like, "Oh, I'm going to end Nick Chubb's career here. Yay." I don't think that's what happened, right? I just don't believe that. George Pickens is just going to finally get my receiving leg parlay. Yay. Um anyway, so
Jeez.
little sidetrack there. Um but I don't think Minka, came in with the goal of like I'm going to end Nick Chubb's career. I just don't believe that. However, for me, he I do think he was trying to hurt him. I do think it was a dirty hit. I think he was trying to take him out of the game, not out of the season. I think it was just kind of a split second thing. And the problem that I have with this, and I'm sick and tired of people acting like this is not the case. The Pittsburgh Steelers, and yes, there are a lot of dirty players in the NFL. There's a lot of shady stuff going on, right? But the Pittsburgh Steelers have always been a dirty, nasty, ugly team. Always after the play's over, you saw it last year with the offensive lineman just jumping on whoever it was. It wasn't Miles, but it was somebody else. And we've seen this over and over and over. James Harrison, right? There's just countless examples of the Pittsburgh Steelers playing dirty football. And it's not like between the snaps, right? It's not during the whistle or yeah, whatever. You get what I mean. It's not legal. It's always after. They always have to try to get that hit after. And that's what pisses me off is because I hate the Steelers with a passion. I really do. I almost hate them. It's close. I hate them more than Michigan. I really think I do because I just hate the brand of football that they play. I hate it. I despise it. I hope the Pittsburgh Steelers burn the franchise to the ground and get out of the NFL. I feel that strongly. I hate the Steelers with a passion. And yeah, I'll keep my mouth shut. But anyway, I'll text you, Tristan, what I was about to say. But anyway, um it's unfortunate because this is yet another situation where they have a dirty hit. And I 100% believe it's a dirty hit because, like I said, and I know I'm rambling here, you're not taught to tackle this way. You're just not. You're not taught to tackle this way. And Minka clearly had his eyes on the target and he made the hit. That's how I feel about it. And it sucks. It really sucks because you now lose Nick Chubb, who has done nothing wrong. He's been a great role model, great example in the locker room, great example in the community. Overall, just as perfect of an NFL superstar as you can get. Nick Chubb hasn't and never will have anything wrong said about him. He's a good guy. He's a genuine, real dude, right? And that's rare. You don't see a whole lot of that. So it really sucks. It really sucks. And I do think Minka Fitzpatrick should have been suspended because everybody Tristan was talking about last year when the offensive lineman, I want to say for the Commanders, chopped Kayvon Thibodeau's knee and it was just blatant and everybody was like suspend him, suspend him. To me this was worse. I think this was worse. Yes, it was quicker. Yes, it was during a play, but to me, it was just as calculated. You saw it from the moment he went in to tackle him. That's just how I feel. So I know I rambled a lot there, but go ahead.
No, you're good, man. So my thoughts about the hit in general. Number one, do I think Minka intended to like end Nick Chubb's career? I agree with you. No, no, I don't think he did. I think he was trying to get Nick Chubb to the ground. Uh, I don't agree with how he decided to hit him. However, it's not in the rule book. It's not in the rule book, and this is something that, in my opinion, uh, the NFL has to take a look at. Is hits below the knee because at this moment in time, outside of non-contact knee injuries, we're seeing a big, big, big increase in guys that are getting hit low and it's either ending their career or it's affecting their career. You know, I don't like how Minka threw that hit. I don't think he should have thrown that hit. Nick was going down. I understand him saying, you know what, Nick Chubb's a big running back. I want to make sure he gets to the ground and making sure that he's wrapped up. But going shoulder first into his chin is not the way to do it. I think that in the future, that's a suspendable hit. In the future, it should be. It should have been a suspendable hit, but it wasn't. So moving forward, there's got to be some talk in the off season about this. There's got to be talk about it because that type of hit cannot be allowed to happen. So what I'll say is this. I'll say I think it's I don't want to say like unethical, but like I don't think it's a respectable hit to throw because of the fact that it's a guy that's already going down and you're putting him in harm's way. However, it's not illegal, and I get why Minka did it. Like why Minka wanted to throw a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all I'll say is you know what? We'll see if there's anything that changes in the off season with a hit like that. But best believe he will be getting some attention when he comes to Cleveland. So the Browns fans are not going to let him forget that.
Yeah.
The Browns fans are not going to let him forget that. And I'm not suggesting that Browns fans should abuse him or anything like that. Of course not. You know, be respectful, be kind. You know, just, you don't have to.
You know,
you just don't.
Couple middle fingers don't hurt, but
you don't have to show him the brotherly love of Cleveland, Ohio. But you know, yeah, I wish that it wasn't Nick that was on the other end of that hit. That's the part that makes it so hard because there's not a nicer guy. You know, a better example of a Cleveland Brown, really. I mean, the ideal Cleveland Brown, a guy who, you know,
modern day Jim Brown. That's what he is.
It's just he's a guy that, you know, doesn't, you know, he's not giving the other team bulletin board material saying I woke up feeling dangerous. You know, he's not doing shit like that. You know, he's a guy that just shuts up. He's our hardest worker, in and out of the building, working his ass off, and he gets his job done. I mean, in that game, he was averaging like 7 yards a carry, roughly, in that game.
Yeah.
And his career average was 5.3 going into that game. You know, the game before as well, he also was like over 5. Like he was about to increase that number. So, you know, can't wait for him to come back next year. I hope he's back better than ever. That's what I hope. Yeah. I hope that he tears it up next year. That's what I hope. But it's a shame that we're going to miss him this year because we definitely need him.
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, obviously the human side of things is the biggest because, like you said, Chubb's done nothing wrong. You know, it's not like he's a dirty player who talks a lot and Minka wants to get a good hit on him. You know, it's not that. It's just flat out, just, I don't know, dirty. But the frustrating thing for me is Nick Chubb is a guy who does not speak. You know, he does not talk. He lets his work talk. And this offseason, he's come out and he has been pretty vocal about the running back market and how guys get paid and how it's not really fair and how, you know, you can come out and be used a whole lot, put up MVP numbers, rushing yards, touchdowns, whatever, and still not be quote unquote worthy of being paid. Now, the Browns extended him, but he was coming up on a contract extension. And Nick Chubb is somebody who I don't ever want to see leave Cleveland, Ohio. And that was just the worst interception I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God.
That was terrible. That was
brutal. He was pointing and everything horrible. Like he was scheming something up and he threw that. Oh my God. All right. Well, Pittsburgh's 2-1 now as well. Because wow. I mean, wow. So keep going.
Dude, what? What was that? I need Jacoby Myers to get 1 yard. That's the funniest thing. I need one more receiving yard,
bro,
and that's what he
bro.
throws.
If Jacoby
Oh
Myers
my
does not get that
gosh.
1 yard, oh,
I don't it's okay. I don't think this is gonna hit. I need Pat Freiermuth to score a touchdown. I need Jalen Warren to get let's see, 16 receiving yards, and I need 20 more yards from Josh Jacobs. It's probably not gonna hit, but
yeah.
dear God, please let it hit because that would be great.
Let's see.
But anyway, yeah, I just it's frustrating because it's like for a guy who's not that vocal, comes out and he's finally vocal about something that I think is worthy of being vocal about, for sure. And now you see him unfortunately as another example of why you don't pay running backs. And I hate to say that, but it's just the truth. However, I do think on the bright side of things, I think it is actually a really good thing that this injury happened before. Let me say what I mean here. I think the fact that it happened in the same knee is great for Nick Chubb coming back because he's already rehabbed this knee. He's already got it back stronger. And that's why I think, honestly, that's why I think the injury is not as significant as it probably should be. I think because that knee has already gone through hell and has been completely kind of remade, essentially, from his time at Georgia. And at this point in his career, he still has a lot left to give for sure. We know this, but um, I think it is a good thing that it's in the same knee. It's not like he has to rehab a new knee and try to come back from that. It's just more of the same because here's the thing too, and I don't want to keep harping on this because we got more to talk about. We got to move on. But I think when you have a significant injury like that, you never stop rehabbing it. And I think people don't really realize that. You don't really ever stop rehabbing it. So it's just more of the same. It's more of the same. Coming back, rehabbing, just harder, a little bit different. And hopefully Nick Chubb can come back even stronger. That's what we need. So with that being said, let's transition here. The Cleveland Browns, in answering Nick Chubb's injury, there was talks about, okay, are we going to go out and trade for Cam Akers? Are we going to possibly be in discussion for maybe a Jonathan Taylor trade? And the most obvious and the for sure thing that was going to happen, Cleveland Browns have gone out and signed yet again Kareem Hunt back to the roster. Tristan, I will let you go because I've kind of rambled here, but I was pumped when I saw this. I was very, very happy.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I wouldn't necessarily say I was like pumped, like ecstatic about it. I mean, like, listen, like Kareem Hunt's a good back, like I was still kind of down in the dumps about Chubb at that point. But what I will say is it was the move that made the most sense because trading for Jonathan Taylor, which was actually something that you know, Tori and I kind of also got into it a little. Uh, it didn't make any sense at all. Not only would we have had to trade a high value draft pick, which remind you,
I don't think you were talking to Tori then,
no,
because Tori was always against
okay,
trading for
then I
Jonathan
might have been
Taylor.
talking to somebody else then, about all of this.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Tori.
sorry, Tori. Yeah, sorry, man.
Love you, buddy.
I can't remember who I was talking to then, but I remember I was in Spaces, and the person who I was speaking to said that we should be all in on Jonathan Taylor, and it never made any sense from go. It never made any sense. And I think that Derek, you just got, is that
Are
Warren?
you kidding me
Warren
right now?
on his
Hold on.
yardage?
I need Jalen Warren over 18 and a half. He's at 18.
Wow.
If he doesn't get one more yard and all these others hit, you will never hear from me again. I will be at the bottom of the bridge down the
Jesus.
road.
Okay.
Not literally, but anyway.
um, yeah. As far as like Hunt's, oh Jesus. Well, there's Pat.
Good luck
There's
moving on
Pat.
from
There's
that.
Pat for you.
I need him to get a touchdown. Hey, if they're gonna win, get me a Pat Freiermuth touchdown.
Oh man. what I'll say is, as far as Hunt though,
I will come unglued. I'm just saying that right now. If we're still live, or not live, but if we're still recording and this hits,
oh, I know.
go ahead. I'm so sorry.
No, you're
Keep going.
fine. You're fine. What I will say is, as far as like, as far as Hunt goes, so Jonathan Taylor never made any sense. We would have had to trade a high value draft pick, which, keep in mind, we traded for Deshaun Watson. We still don't have a ton of those. Like, this is the last year of, oh, Najee's hurt. Oh, um, anyways, um, it was the last year uh of like not having a first round pick because of that Deshaun trade, and
Yeah.
we still didn't have a ton of high value draft picks outside of that, and we need them. So it didn't make sense to trade for him from that perspective, but also he wasn't going to play if he didn't get paid, because he just saw what happened to Nick Chubb. He wants his money before he puts himself in a bad spot. Um, so it was never going to happen. Let's say that first and foremost. It was never going to happen unless we would have traded the high value draft pick and extended him. With that extension, even if we would have done like, oh yeah, let's just sign him, and then like when Chubb's back, trade him, our cap hit that we would have gotten from that, trading a guy in the first year of his new deal, hello, that would have been huge. That would have been a huge cap hit. It would have never made any sense logistically. The only time it would have made sense is if it was definitive Chubb is done for the rest of his career, right? Like, that's the only other
Mhm.
time. And Kenny Pickett, fire move, touchdown.
Oh!
Wow, look at you.
No way, dude. No way. Torrey just won. Torrey just won his. Oh, no, he didn't. Jacoby Myers needs one
Oh,
more
he just
reception.
dabbed. Oh,
Dude.
take it back. He
Dude.
just dabbed. Take it back. Take it
Yeah,
back.
forget that. Dude,
Hey, what did I
for
tell
the
you?
love of God, can Josh Jacobs please get 20 more rushing
Wow.
yards? And can Jalen Warren get one more yard, please?
I you can tell this Raiders defense is so ass because the Pittsburgh Steelers are dotting them up. What the fuck? Anyways, uh, so Jonathan Taylor never really ever made sense, but Kareem Hunt, it made the most sense if you were going to bring in a free agent back, which I think Kareem Hunt was the second best option as far as talent wise, the best option as far as overall like common sense. Um, in the main reason, sorry, Kenny Pickett was just pointing. He just
Idiot.
looked so dumb. Anyways, so,
Oh my
take that.
gosh. He's a. I love how we're off camera for this. This is gonna be hilarious listening to. Oh.
Anyways, but no, I think I think Hunt made the most sense. I mean, he knows the plays. He's played with these guys the past several years. Um, not a lot has changed. So it made so much sense for us to bring him back. Um, so with that being said, yeah, I mean, I thought that the year that Hunt had last year was a big sign that, hey, it's possible this guy's like done. I don't know how much more he has left. But today, against Tennessee with limited reps, I thought he looked okay. I thought he looked pretty solid. Um, had a few good plays, but it's certainly going to be a running back by committee room, and
Mhm.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. And with Kareem being a part of it, he lost 10 pounds, and it showed. Like he looked
Mhm.
like he had a bit better of a first step. Because last year I remember it was, funnily enough, actually, it was like watching Najee Harris. Like it's just hard for him to get going. Um,
Yeah.
that's what it was looking like last year. He just wasn't able to get it. But dropped 10 pounds, and his first step was a lot better. Um, so I'm excited to see where he can go from here. Uh, but yeah, I mean, it was the most sensible decision for the running back room. But Derek, what did you think?
Yeah. So when the Chubb injury happened, my first thought was, okay, Kareem Hunt's back, and I love Kareem Hunt. He I knew we were going to get rid of him. I understand why. It makes sense for both sides. I get it. But Chunt is the reason why the Browns offense had anything going in the last few seasons for the Browns. And, um, for me, I think bringing Kareem Hunt back is very critical because I just do not have any trust in the world at all with Jerome Ford running the football. As a pass catcher, he's been great today, right? We saw that today. He was fantastic against the Tennessee Titans, but running the football, his vision is horrendous. There were so many times against the Bengals, against the Steelers, today, even a couple times where the hole was there, he didn't see it. And it's not his fault. He's a second year running back. He'll get better. But, we'll see. It's just kind of a matter of time thing. He's not Nick Chubb, right? That's just what it is. I need 11 more yards from Josh Jacobs. Anyway, um, um, so yeah, I don't necessarily blame Jerome Ford, right? I can't put too much blame on Jerome Ford. However, Kareem Hunt, in my opinion, is going to end up being the starting running back at some point, or he's going to get a significant amount of carries. Um, for me, I think that it's a really big signing because of is that it? That is it. Let's go. Okay.
It's Jacoby
Sorry.
Myers.
Live parlay update. I now need Jalen Warren to catch one more pass for
Positive yardage.
literally a half a yard.
Just
Yes, for positive
positive
yardage.
yardage.
And I need 11 more yards from Josh Jacobs. Oh my
I
gosh.
mean,
Oh my gosh.
is it all purpose for Jacobs or is it running?
It's just running.
There's maybe a yard for you. Maybe. Oh, he looks hurt.
Are you
Oh no, he's
kidding
up.
me?
He's up. Oh, but he's certainly.
Okay.
Oh, he's limping. Oh man, that might ruin your parlay,
Oh my
man. Damn.
gosh.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
What are we even talking about? I totally just forgot.
Hunt. Hunt.
Oh, Kareem Hunt. Okay. This is gonna be hilarious to listen to as a clip later. No. So I think Kareem Hunt eventually is going to be basically somewhat starter. I think he's going to be known as the running back, where Jerome Ford's going to be known as the passing back, with Pierre Strong as kind of like that rotational both. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm expecting there. But anyway, I'm very excited. I think what we saw out of Kareem Hunt today, like you said, losing 10 pounds, he looks quick, he looks elusive. Um, he looks kind of like the guy that we first got when Kareem Hunt was in Cleveland, right? Where he had that quick step jump, right? You saw that today. That was so fun to see again in a Browns uniform. Kareem Hunt make a jumping gain, you know what I mean? Um, so yeah, I'm pumped to have Kareem Hunt back. I think he is going to be a critical piece, and a big reason why he was for sure coming back. Kareem Hunt is a Cleveland kid, went to the University of Toledo, and loves Nick Chubb. Loves Nick Chubb. And um I think for him it was probably an easy decision, right? He was a free agent, right? You had guys like Ezekiel Elliott, Dalvin Cook on the market, Leonard Fournette, and Kareem Hunt was one of those guys. And it was like, okay, where is he going to end up? And he was waiting for this, and obviously he wasn't rooting for this, but he was waiting for this. And the opportunity came, signed back a 1-year, $4 million deal, I believe, to the Cleveland Browns. And I'm pumped because I think he is going to be a pivotal piece, especially later on in the season, because you're not going to just be able to have Jerome Ford. You're not just going to be able to have Pierre Strong. You had to have that guy. And now I feel very confident that we have that guy in Kareem Hunt. So that's just me.
I think the reported number at first was like up to 4 million, but the actual number I'm pretty sure is like 1.125 or something like that. It's something ridiculous, I think, but either way, I will say, as far as like what your take on Ford, I disagree. I think that Ford Ford is not Nick Chubb, and it's hard to, because he's getting a lot of these snaps. It's hard to like, you know, say, it's easy to say like, hey, Nick would have done better with this. Nick would have done better with this. Nick would have done better with this. I think Jerome's a fine back, and I think that today was rough because, like I said when we talked about the game itself against Tennessee, I felt like Stefanski was overcompensating for the run game. Like we were doing a lot of stuff that was just out of character in our run game. We weren't sticking.
He's getting cute,
Yeah,
yeah.
we weren't sticking to our normal like zone, like in between the tackles or pulling guards type stuff. We weren't doing that a
Mhm.
lot today. Um, and in my opinion, that's where Jerome Ford is best, is when you can get him just going downhill. He is a guy that, you know,
He's an out in space
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would say if there's a hole, he's gonna hit it full speed, and he's a good runner. He's a good runner, and so I believe personally that Kevin's going to look at his game plan in the run today, and he's going to say, "I got to button this up." And I think Ford's going to be a lot better. I think Ford's going to be a lot better than he was today. Although I thought he had an okay game. He got 2 touchdowns. So I mean, hey,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
he certainly looked
I mean,
okay. So at the end of the day, it is going to be running back by committee room. The guy who I will say, based off of how he performed today, Pierre Strong, I'm really interested to see what he can do because he looked good. He looked good.
yeah.
I really liked how he played.
Yeah, he's a good running back too. I'm nervous. Josh Jacobs is back in the game, thank God. Um, just get a first down so that you can run the ball. Whew, thank God. I'm sorry, people. This is gonna be the rest of the podcast. Me just being like, come on, come on, come on. Anyway, so Pierre Strong, when the Browns traded for him, we traded one of our depth piece linemen to the Patriots for Pierre Strong. Um, the one thing that I heard was, wow, this is going to be a good move, because the Patriots fans were saying that you get him behind a really good offensive line, he can be effective. And I think that's what we've seen so far. You mentioned it. He's been pretty solid. And I really really like what I've seen so far out of him. He's not a great player by any means, and that was just a
Yeah,
horrendous
Jimmy
sack.
G
But
sucks. Jesus Christ.
run the ball, please. Um,
Just
it
give up.
was.
Run the
He's not.
football.
He's not a game changing, life changing player by any means, but um, when it comes to running back by committee, he's got fresh legs that can offer you a lot, and um, it makes me kind of wonder how the Browns will use him in rotation. Are they going to view him as more of Kareem Hunt's kind of, move him off, or are they going to view him more as a Jerome Ford guy? Because, we talked about, here we go. Welcome to Derek Forgets Another Name. Running back UCLA, Demetric
Felton, yeah.
Felton. That's who I'm talking about. We talked about with Felton, like he was okay as a running back, but he was good as a pass catcher. I think Pierre Strong is just kind of Demetric Felton on steroids a little bit. You know what I mean? Like if Demetric Felton is like Dollar Tree, right? Pierre Strong is like Dollar General. It's just a little bit better.
Uh, I don't know. I mean, for me, how I think this running this room will eventually pan out, I think that you'll see Hunt play pretty much an identical role that he did last year, and then you're gonna see between Ford and uh, Strong, they'll split the carries that Chubb usually would get. Is how I think, and after it kind of dilutes out, Hunt gets the most snaps on field, but rushes are about even between the three. That's how I think it will pan out, myself personally. Um, I don't know. For me, I just think I see Pierre Strong more as a downhill runner. I saw Dimitrik as kind of like a guy that, was like a jitterbox, like get out in space and he can make some really good plays. And with his hands, he was great. Obviously, he was a good receiver. Um, so that's just kind of how I see the running back room panning out. But again, I mean, there's a lot to figure out with that running attack. Uh, and I mean, we'll talk about previewing the Ravens game, but they got to be ready.